Playoffs? Playoffs? Yeah, that's right. It's playoff time. Week 15. We've made it. Well, maybe some of y'all didn't make it. Maybe you're trying to make it, out of your losing bracket. Make sure you're not the loser, the Sacco. But for the rest of you, we made it the playoffs, and it's streaming week 1, and here we go. What's happening, everybody? Too Much Brian here on Too Much Fantasy Football, the Fantasy Football Advice Network. How are we doing today? It's just me today, no Brennan. Look at the playoffs. We got to make the right choice. You cannot screw up here, so we had to push him to the side. Brennan's going to take a seat, do a little extra studying for the start-sit show tomorrow. So it's just me. It's all me today. We're going to be jumping through this chat, seeing what we can do to help everybody out, talking about all the fun things that are happening. And it's playoff time, man. I'm so pumped. We got Thursday Night Football. It's the Rams and the Niners taking off. So that one should be pretty good. Over-under's 48.5 starting out, so that's not too shabby. Oh, Grindberg's in the house. What's up? Of course, how we doing there? Mike, it's been some time, man. We need you on the show. Looks like we're not working, not cooking today. Maybe we hop on. I'll send you the link. Yeah, maybe. But Jay Money's got a question for us here, starting us off. How we doing, man? Drop Bray Allen or Isaiah Davis for Patrick Taylor. Sincere or Sean Tucker in half PPR. RBs are Alvin Kamara, Tracy, Dowdle, Bucky, Brees, Allen, and Davis. So we got one game in at this point as far as the Jets backfield. And it's 50-50 straight up, Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis. At this point, I'd pick your favorite. Mine's still probably Braylon Allen, despite Isaiah Davis he got some red zone work. It was good. Great stuff there, but I'd still just take one of those and then take the shot on one of the other backs. You're not ever going to play both of them, so take a shot at one backfield and go for the other. Patrick Taylor, I'm not excited by. I know he's next man up right now, but if you're really shooting a shot, I'd rather go Izzy Abanikanda. I think there's just so much more upside with him. We've seen Patrick Taylor in the league for a bit, and I just don't know how much that ceiling truly is with him. Sincere, I think he's a floor play. It's the Raiders, especially if they're missing AOC. Get down to Desmond Ritter. It's going to be bad out there in Vegas. So, Sincere McCormick, it's exciting to see, some talent out there with him, but I just don't know where that ceiling truly is going to be. And then Sean Tucker, sky's the limit. We need to be watching Bucky Irving, see what's kind of going on there with that situation. But if Bucky's going to miss some time, Sean Tucker, we've seen the explosive play out of him already this year. Ooh, excuse me. My drink's got a little bubbly in me. It's just okay. All right, what else you got? Got a little defense questions there for Jay Money. How we doing? Hold Arizona defense versus New England, or add Denver, the Jets, Falcons, or Kansas City. You got room for both. It's playoff time. It's hard to, not look just this week, but we're looking multiple weeks ahead, trying to see where we can. I really like Arizona against this week. I think it's a great play. Kansas City also has a great matchup as well. We might be able to see them with the backup quarterback as well. Let me see, pull up everybody else. Kansas City's got Cleveland, so it's pick city there with Jameis potentially. Atlanta. Are they going to get a positive game script with Kirk Cousins at this point? They do get Vegas, so on the chance that they get Desmond Ritter, I think he is a good play. But then they have the Giants and Washington. Atlanta hasn't been great this year, but those are some great matchups those next 2 weeks against Vegas and the Giants. Arizona, I don't know. They've been playing great ball, but I am a little apprehensive going into week 2 of the playoffs. Just them playing Carolina, it was supposed to be a great freaking matchup, and I don't know, Bryce Young, he's been playing well. He's looking good. Mathiasen coming in here. Where you been, man? Odunze went off for us this week. 2 touchdowns. I hope we get some momentum building up here. Drama in my league last night. Commish is a must-win. Didn't realize the playoffs was 6 teams, so during Monday Night Football, switched it to 8 and then back to 6, then to 8. And then after the game, oh my God. Someone complaining, saying you can't change the rules. He's also in a must-win. So Commish said you're right and switched it to 6, and they both were in the top 6. That's some sketchy stuff, dude. You don't change You don't change rules. Like, if there was a mess up there in the creation of the league and it's a full sweep, everybody says, hey, let's change it, and you're in the first maybe 6-ish weeks, I could see it, but, like, that's sketchy as hell, man. You should have had that figured out. Fucking, yeah, that's hard with commissioners doing that, too. I mean, if it was maybe an honest mistake, him just overthinking it, that's one thing, but, like, having a guy that's willing to change that up, that's some shit. I imagine you made it. We know that lineup's pretty dope. We know it's dope. Guy Mathias and sliding in. Nino, what's happening, man? Horrible situation. I wouldn't even want to play after that. I mean, I wouldn't want to play, but if I'm in the playoffs, I'm still going for the chip, man. I'm still going after it. I'm going to win that money, and then we'll make those hard decisions in the offseason, whether or not you bail on them or not. Maybe just kick out the commissioner. Get yourself a new commish. Cam Daddy, what's happening? We got Evan Ingram, Hunter Henry, Zach Ertz, Dalton Kincaid. Rank them rest of season, half PPR. Who would you rather have? Shit, at first glance, it might be Ertz. Like, that's rough. Evan Ingram, man. I mean, we've got it locked in and loaded. It's going to be Mac Jones going forward. He's going to get peppered with targets, but it doesn't really mean a whole hell of a lot at this point. Oh, man. Let me pull up Hunter Henry. I'm trying to remember who he plays out throughout the playoffs. Wow, he's got one of the worst rest of season schedules. Old boys playing Arizona, Buffalo, and the Chargers. So, yeah, Hunter Henry might be last on that. Even though Kincaid's been some hot garbage. Kincaid plays Detroit and the Jets, two harder matchups. Let's keep scrolling here. What are we looking at? Commanders not bad. Got the Saints, Philly, and Atlanta. Oh, man. Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram, it says, has the best rest of season schedule. It gets the Jets, Vegas, and Tennessee. You're going to get peppered with targets. I think Evan Ingram might be my floor play, and then Ertz would be the ceiling play. Just based on those touchdowns. If the Commanders can keep rolling, I think that might be the direction I go. Wow, that's rough. I mean, it's tight end. You're going to be able to stream them. You're going to be able to pick these people up. If you keep winning, other people keep losing. There's less and less competition on the waiver wire. Mark, what do we have going here? Do you trust Hunter Henry or Ferguson for his fantasy playoffs? I mean, I like Hunter Henry's involvement. I do like Drake May. I'm really excited for the future prospect of him. But I just kind of touched on his rest of season schedule. Arizona. It's been a rough defense. They kind of got shellacked against the Seahawks this past week, but they've been good over the last 4 to 6 weeks. Buffalo and then Chargers. Both top 4 defenses against tight end all season. So Hunter Henry, I don't know if I trust. Ferguson, it's ugly. It's gross. You're having to trust a backup quarterback, but give me Cooper Rush to pepper him with targets enough, you know? If you look at Dallas Cowboys, they actually have a top 5 rest of season schedule for tight end. They get Carolina, Tampa Bay, and Philly. Those first 2 matchups are the worst and the 4th best. Or the best and the 4th best matchup. Philly's 9. You might look for a pivot there in the last week, depending on what's sitting out there. But, yeah, give me Ferguson rest of season as long as he's healthy. You can always pivot to his backup. Mathiason's back in to give us a little more details here. What do we got? 12-team league. Usually it's 8 teams, but he flip-flopped. And first and second said they were okay with 8 teams. And the guy who's in 5th said no changing rules. I'm in 3rd place at the moment. Hey, you're happy either way, right? Well, shit, you get 6 teams. I guess you wouldn't get the first round bye either. So, doesn't change too much for you. That's a hard situation. I don't mind 8 teams at a 12. Like, I mean, you know, if you go 6 out of a 12 team, it's just 50%. I don't mind going to 8, getting a little bit over 50% of the league. But yeah, there's just so much luck in the playoffs at the same time. It is nice to have less variables hitting you. Mark, Purdy or Stafford? Let me pull up those matchups real quick. Because I'm leading Purdy just on the rushing floor that, you know, he has given us for most of the season. Oh, man. Oh, shoot. It'd be Thursday night. Love that. Love that. That's why I couldn't find it. Yeah, give me Purdy. Purdy floor, Stafford ceiling. I guess you're the underdog in this matchup. That might change a few things for me. If you need a big week, I think Stafford could give you that big week. If not, right now I've got Purdy inside my top 10. I've got Stafford a little outside of it, though. So Purdy's probably the safer call. Nino coming back in here. Goddard goes down right before playoffs. Do I target Hunter Henry, Pat Fryermuth, Ferguson, Jawan? So Hunter Henry, I think, is the first one I'm bouncing out of here. Pat Fryermuth, I'm actually really interested in just because of the George Pickens injury, which came out as a grade 2 hamstring injury. So we're either if he misses this week, then it's going to be multiple weeks that he misses, and if not, he should be good to go. So we need to eyeball practice reports. It's only Tuesday, so I'm not going to get anything worthwhile out of that right now. But and Juwan Jennings, I really like Juwan Johnson. Really like Juwan Johnson rest of season, but with Carr possibly being out, I think I'm going to tilt away from that. So if the question's in the context of whether or not like who you need to pick up, I'd put a dollar or two out on, if you're fab, dollar out on Pat Fryermuth and Ferguson. I'm trying to think of who I'd want rest of the season. Let me pull up the matrix here, see what this says. Because I think I'd rather have Ferguson rest of season. I did say Steelers top 5 schedule rest of season for tight end. So yeah, maybe go Pat Fryermuth then. But put in a bid for both of them. I think either one of them will give you a decent finish. Cowboys 5th, Steelers 6th, both of them right there. So I don't know. If your gut tells you one way or the other, maybe go that direction. Alrighty, cleared that out. Y'all have any questions? Anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to see me react to? I mean, not me personally, because that just sounds conceited as fuck, right? Yeah. No, we're here to talk some football. Here to talk some fantasy here. Go over the waiver wire, who we're picking up. Patrick Taylor, any y'all jumping over there to go grab him? I'm not really convinced I want to go that direction. I think it's just hope. Holding out hope for Izzy Abanikanda. I really hope that we get some magic there with him. Absolutely bummed when he got stuck behind all of those other running backs there for the Jets. Adam Thielen, where are we at on him? Dude's been up and down as far as fantasy this year, like deciding or not whether to draft him coming into the year. He hasn't done shit until week 12, and then all of a sudden back-to-back weeks with double-digit targets. I mean, Adam Thielen gets Dallas, Arizona, and Tampa Bay. 3 pretty good matchups, as far as like availability, sleeper 70% owned. So there's a decent chance you can go out there and get him still, depending on what the league is. Might be a lot of dead leagues though. I'm blown away. Like dynasty moves, the amount of like all-in moves was like, all right, here we go. Let's go get some receivers, make this happen. Push me over the edge for that chip. No, absolutely wild shit going on out there. Streamers. Let's talk some streamers. Defenses. Since none of y'all are going to pop in there, we'll jump over. Why is it that Jacksonville's got one of the best streaming defenses like rest of season? Absolutely crazy. You have the Jets, you've got the Raiders, and Tennessee the last 3 weeks. I don't know if the team's any good. Offense might not be good enough to keep them up anyway, but like goodness, playing Aaron Rodgers, Ritter, and then Will Levis. It's freaking great. Colts also have a top 2 matchup rest of the season. You get Denver this week. Could be a hard one. But then Tennessee and the Giants. Yeah, Colts find a way to get some turnovers. They get the ball popped out of there. So I don't think they lose you the week, but they definitely have a good chance at getting you something fun. Amazon's beating down my door. Sorry about that. Ravens playing the Giants this week. Pittsburgh and Houston. Looks like it could be 3 pretty good matchups. Just if you are able to get them off of the waiver wire this week, coming off a bye, could have been dropped. Cincinnati gets Tennessee. Where do you go from there? Like, do you play ball with Tennessee or Cincinnati, hoping that they can get something out of Tennessee? I don't know if I have the stones to do it. I was so pumped for Tennessee's matchups coming into the playoffs, and it's just not going to work for you. Will Levis burnt the shit out of me last week, especially in my Superflex. Missing the playoffs because of him. It's okay. We'll keep the hate mail to a minimum. Maybe next year. Do they replace him? That's the real question. Do y'all think Will Levis, you think he gets another stint there in Tennessee? I'm not quite sure. It's okay. Colts, we'll give Anthony Richardson one more shot. So we got several teams that are going to be in the mix as far as quarterback goes, We have them. Carolina seems like they might be keeping Bryce Young for another year. It'll be interesting to see if they add any competition there or if they just full on say, hey, you got 1 year, prove it. What can you get us done? Like I said, anybody got anything to throw in the chat? Anything you want to talk about? Start, sits, waivers, toss them in there. Otherwise, I'm just going to ramble. To ramble about waiver wires. Quite a bit to talk about today. Well, I guess depending on what the situation is that you're looking at. Explosion games. I mean, we thought the Vikings were the highlight of the week. Him and Puka, and then the freaking clinic that we got put on by Jamar Chase last night. The punt. The freaking punt. I don't know if it was the fact that it was the Simpsons and something happened with it, but like, dude, that Cowboys player. I want to say they said in the broadcast he just got activated for that game. Dude's got to be kicking himself. Just possession. That's all you need is possession of the ball. You didn't need to return it. You're about to get the ball. You had to go like, what, 25 yards? 25 yards to win the game. And this dude just can't get it done. Yeah, Jamar Chase last night. 18 targets, 14 catches, 177 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And don't forget the 14 yards on the ground he also had. Dude's absolutely crushing it this year. It seems to be the only safe pick, I guess, in the first round. Like, have we had anybody else in the first round in fantasy drafts that you weren't kicking yourself for? Like, he's got 15 touchdowns on the year, 1,300 yards. He's even, it's career high for him? Nope, not quite. Rookie year, he had 1,455 on yards, so 140 yards shy of that. I'm sure he gets that in the next 2 games. This Bengals defense has been atrocious, so they've just been roasting it through the air. All right, what else do we have here? Other matchups I'm excited for. Cowboys and the Panthers. You think the Panthers beat the Cowboys? I think so. Cowboys been playing a little bit better. They're playing up to the competition, But so have the Panthers. That one's going to be exciting to kind of check out. What else do we have here? Not too many blowouts. That was nice. Looking at the Commanders and Saints, you got a 7-point spread there. Of course, Ravens and Giants, 15-point spread. Do we really think that it's fit? I mean, we saw Panthers cut that 14-point spread for the Eagles last week. So, God, can the Giants keep competitive with the Ravens? The Ravens coming off a bye week. I just can't imagine that they'd let them get close. Outside of that, we do have the Steelers-Eagles, a 5-point spread. That one's a little bigger than I want. Bears-Viking on Monday night is 7. And then Falcons-Raiders, the other Monday night game. Because, yes, we're back to doing 2 Monday night games, of course. Who doesn't love that shit? Me. I don't. What are we looking at for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in the afternoon, though, folks? We're back at it. No bye weeks. Big afternoon slate. None of that crappy 3 games only. So, it's only almost like 1 game. 2 games are usually crappy. So, yeah, that'll be awesome. We got 5 games there. And then it looks like opening up with 7 in the morning. So, I guess depending on where you're at. East Coast, so it's 1 o'clock. Not quite morning for me. What do we have here? Sammy. What's happening, Sammy? Waddle, BTJ, Judy, JMO, or Devonta this week? Well, I mean, you're not short on options, that's for sure. Bye weeks, that'll do that to you. God, Waddle isn't jumping. I thought Waddle was going to be jumping off the page for me, but he's really not. I've got Brian Thomas Jr. ranked above him, Judy above him. I think it's going to be Judy or Brian Thomas Jr. I've got Judy ahead of him, so it'd probably be Judy, Brian Thomas Jr. 1-2. If you're going into the game as the underdog, I can see JMO as possibly the play, but yeah, it's hard to go away from Judy. Cedric Tillman might be back this week. That does play a little bit into that target share, but it seems like Njoku is the real guy that's getting kicked down from that. So yeah, give me Judy, Brian Thomas Jr., and then Waddle. Devonta Smith and JMO. I don't know where to put those guys. They're too boom bust for me. Can you see this? Sure can. Can you see this? You see what we're doing? Yeah, we got you, Sammy. Oh, well, Sammy, wide eyes. Is that you making fun of me? Is that where we're going? Yeah, Sammy, I think Judy's the way to go. No, I'm not. J Money coming back in. Do you like Purdy or Herbert as a QB2? Actually, I was gonna say Purdy, but I liked Herbert quite a bit this week. Let me pull up my more rankings there, who I do have higher. Because Herbert's got a hell of a matchup this week against Tampa Bay. Give me Purdy. It's a Thursday game. When in doubt, don't we like the Thursday out here for the most part? God. I think Herbert's going to be the ceiling play for me. Purdy's going to be a little safer. I do have him ranked higher, but like Herbert against Tampa Bay, they absolutely should crush. They're coming off a loss to the Chiefs, so they definitely need to get another win in that column. Tampa Bay is playing for something there, so hopefully we'll get a competitive game. Should be a good shootout. So, yeah, Purdy floor, Herbert ceiling. All right. Start one. We got Tracy versus Baltimore, Pacheco versus Cleveland, or Stevenson against Arizona. Wow, I haven't had a Stevenson question in a few weeks. It's been kind of nice. I think we're going Pacheco here. We're seeing an increased workload for him this past week. It was great. Absolutely. It's what we wanted to see from him. Ground and pound action. Tracy had career highs as far as attempts and work share, like the work share percentage that he had. It was all great, but that team is just atrocious. It doesn't matter which quarterback they have back there, whether it's DeVito or Locke. So I love Tracy as a talent, but Baltimore's a tougher run defense for me. So give me Pacheco in this matchup. Stevenson against Arizona, I don't know. It's the Patriots. They're so suspect at this point. Yeah, final answer. I got Pacheco, Tracy, Stevenson, in that order is my ranking. Sammy, no problem, man. I got you covered. We got Knicks versus Indy or Purdy versus the Rams. Give me Knicks. Give me Knicks. All right, look. Indy disappoints in two different ways. They disappoint you because they lose the games they shouldn't, but they also win the games they shouldn't. And if there's a game they shouldn't win, it would be against the Broncos. The Broncos team looks great. The defense plays well, but like, does Indy get a few turnovers, get something, make some sort of magic happen? Does Richardson find that bomb, connect them? Because what is Surtain going to do? Who he's going to shadow? He's not shadowing anybody on that team. There's nobody like worthy of him being shadowed. So, weird feeling it might just be a Colts fan thing about Knicks, but I do have Knicks ranked actually one. I've got him at 8, and I've got Purdy at 9. So I think it's a win-win either way. I don't think either one guy loses it for you. Maybe you do Purdy just going into the week. You get that knocked out on Thursday, and then you can have some easier decision-making going into Sunday knowing, hey, my quarterback overplayed or he underplayed from where I expected him. Dude, Sammy. All right. So, QB list, football.pitcherlist.com. I do a streaming tight end article for them. Literally was just finishing it up. I'll be publishing it here in a few hours. Kyle Pitts was on the brain because, damn it, I fanboyed him this year. I hadn't fallen into it until this year, and I was like, you know what? I believe in him. This is it. This is the week. I got it. Or this is the year. He's got a good quarterback. And then freaking Kirk Cousins does this bullshit to us. 6 interceptions the last 2 games without a touchdown. Hasn't had a touchdown since week 9. So that's the biggest fear. But if you look at the Vegas Raiders, they are the second best matchup for the tight end position. Like the second best matchup for the tight end position. And yes, they're playing Atlanta this week. Kyle Pitts. I haven't dropped him. No, I did. I did drop him in my home league. I finally dropped him. But I've got him, I think, on one more roster, redraft roster. So I'm moving on. I think it's smarter to move on. But if there's a week that I just have this inkling that maybe it could be this week just because the Raiders are so bad, maybe Kirk Cousins finds some ways, some secret stuff, some HGH. I don't know. Some way to come out and have a good game. But without him being able to throw that deep ball to Kyle Pitts to catch those, he was 1 for 6 this past week. Maybe we're righting the ship right there. Let's move on. We didn't get rid of Kyle Pitts. If he blows up, he blows up. But I wouldn't be kicking myself if he blows up. I would be kicking myself knowing that I've been starting a guy that has not produced over the last 6 weeks and putting him in my playoff lineup. So yeah, let's move on from Kyle Pitts. Last chance. Dude, I'm with you. No, we got to toss them in the trash. You got to help me, help you, help me. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm dropping them after the stream. We're trading up. You got other tight ends. I like other guys I was writing about this week. I like Ertz. Ertz plays the Saints. Saints to let up quite a few points to the position. Tucker Kraft's probably not available. He's owned in like 62% of leagues, I think it was, for Yahoo. But Seattle, there's a good team you can play for, or a good team that you can score on. I don't know. I'm willing to make the pivot away from Kyle Pitts. Let's stay strong, man. We got this. I'm sending Cousins H. Let's do it. All right. Okay. So if you're doing that, then maybe we buy back in. Maybe, or maybe we don't. Maybe we stay smart. We get rid of Kyle Pitts. But then we go to that betting app, that DFS app, and we just do a little sprinkle there on Kyle Pitts. Because if Kirk Cousins, like, what happened? What happened to Kirk Cochains with the muscles and and he's stronger than everybody thinks. I saw some stat. I think he's like the first quarterback since they started tracking, like, to not throw a ball over 36 miles an hour in a game. That sucks. That says, like, I don't know. Yeah, the Achilles is really cutting into him. If you get that hormone over to him, I might be buying back into Kyle Pitts. But for our safety, our health, our fantasy teams, and our championship hopes, yeah, we probably should boot Kyle Pitts there. All right. That's all we got in there. Dude, second in points and missed the playoffs. That's rough. 10 or 12 team league. Except that's in a 12-team league, too. That's even, more heartbreaking. I really, golly, I don't know what to do with that one. That one's got to be hard. So I've only played in, I think, 2 leagues where they do the median scoring. So even if you lose that week and you still have over 50%, you would get a win. So you come out 1-1 in a lot of those situations. I don't mind it, but I do love the chaos. 10-team, I was going to say, yeah, that's still rough. That's rough. Probably 6 teams went in. That's so bad. There's always next year. Take the Cowboys approach. Damn, dude. I feel for you. I feel that sucks. Like I said, though, the median scoring might be something to look into if it's happened multiple times to you. My home league, it happens more often than not. I swear, I either get first or I get last in that league. It's so bad because it's not the best players. Like, I'm not trying to talk down on my home league, but they know they're not great. But this game's got so much luck in it, and God, they know how much it kills me when they luck their way into something like that. My dad made the playoffs, and he didn't even adjust his team. If that does not show how crappy this game can be sometimes. Seeing the one lone guy in your home league or lone person in your home league that auto drafts and makes it all the way to the championship game. It's makes you want to gouge your eyes out. It's absolutely horrible. It's the worst. But hey, there's a handful of those players that they take you there. I saw something like 50% of winning lineups in Underdog Best Ball right now had Saquon Barkley. Or you were either first or second if you had Saquon Barkley in like 50% of leagues. So sometimes it's all about the player, who you take, where they take. A lot of the injuries play into that. Who gets picked up on the waiver wire? That's usually what screws me up. Because I just have so many guys on my team, I don't know who to drop. And then by not dropping them, I don't pick up that waiver wire person I should have had. You know, missing out on Juwan Jennings because I held on to Kyle Pitts way too long. Herbert or Rodgers this week. Sammy coming back in with a little quarterback question. It's gotta be Herbert. I don't even know why I'm checking my I got Rodgers down there a lot closer to 20. Herbert is a QB1 for me this week. I love his matchup against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is just letting everybody just torch them as far as passing. Going back. Yeah, they're 23rd against wide receivers, allowing almost 30 points to the position. Quarterback, they are dead last, allowing 22 points per game to the quarterback position. Last 5, it's only 15, so it's not been as bad. Of course, those 2 Kirk Cousins games are way there in the beginning of the year when the secondary's gotten healthier. They brought back Jamel Dean, I think 2-3 weeks ago, so they're looking a lot better. Where can I find your rankings? Best place to find it would be Fantasy Football Advice Network. I don't post all. I should probably actually go get them over in there. Fantasy Football Advice Network. It's where you can find me and everybody else that we post all of our stuff. Let me show you where.
We are here. FantasySportsAdvice.com, offering the best fantasy sports social media platform. Why join endless Discord communities or the trolls of Reddit? Fantasy Sports Advice is a community designed to help you win with 24/7 support. Go to FantasySportsAdvice.com and become a pro member for unlimited access. Again, go to FantasySportsAdvice.com today.
Yeah, no problem. So that's where it's going to be. I'm here on the Fantasy Football Advice Network with my show, Too Much Fantasy Football. We've got several over here, whether it be the guys at Operation Domination, Fantasy Forecast, all of those. But yeah, you'll check us all out over there on the Fantasy Football Advice Network. We've got you covered. Most of the other guys have the rankings posts, mine that aren't always up there, but we'll get them up there for you and answer any of the questions you do have. Tons of fun information in there. Social media minus all the drama, right? It's just fantasy football, just fantasy basketball, just fantasy baseball, all the time. But yeah, Tampa, Herbert, let's get it going. That should be a great game. What is the over-under for that? Let me pull that up. 45.5. Come on, we need some inflation on those points there. It's not quite as much as I want. Bengals and the Titans are looking over there at 47.5. Come on, Tampa, you can let it go. Coming back in here, I made so many trades. JD5, we had Gibbs, Kyron, Jamar, JJ, Njoku, Chase Brown, just a blow. Woohoo! Well, at least you're not coming last. You know what? There's a little silver lining there on the cloud. That's, yeah, at least you're not getting last. If you had a punishment, you don't have to worry about that at least. But good Lord, that's a team to not make the playoffs too. That's rough. Your league mates are like jumping up and down too. The fact that they don't have to look at half those guys, like Gibbs, great playoff matchup. JJ too, and Njoku's got one of the better ones. Chase Brown is absolutely on fire, dude. That's that's rough. My home league, the last team to squeak in, definitely shouldn't have been in the playoffs, but I was actually rooting for her because she's got like 4 Rams on her team. So if the Rams are, they're hot right now, and it's probably not a good thing, but just one bad game, and that her whole team just goes kaput. And she's on my side of the bracket too, so I'm going to be living or dying by the Rams most likely this year. What are the over-unders we got that are looking good this week? Dolphins, Texans at 46. What happened to the Texans? Where are the CJ boys? The guys that were the folks that were in the room going up, jumping up and down, saying CJ. Where are they at? Because I'm not a CJ hater, a little bit, because they're Texans and Colts fan, but I still think he's talented. I think he's great for the NFL. But this whole drafting him in top 7, top 8, what do we do? What do we see? Yeah, Sammy, that's what I was saying. Mine don't always make it up there, unfortunately. Dan, mine are pretty damn close to Dan. I find a nice little happy medium between Dan and Chase, but we're having a few issues trying to get everybody else's up there, so mine haven't quite made it up there, but we're working on it. We're almost there, and if not, you just tag the crap out of me. I'll start sit all day. I got you covered. Or better yet, maybe I can actually post a link to them in there. Give me a couple hours once I get off here, get on there, and I'll have them posted on there. How about that? Sound good? Love it, Sammy. We're here to help you out. Here to help you out. Bills and Lions, though. 54.5 points. It's what? 26, 27.5 points each? Like, that's freaking unreal to see that many points going to a team. I think we have to. You got to hit the under on that one. Right? It's got to be the under. That's just so many points. I'm trying to pull it up now to see if that is the highest on the season, because I can't think that I've seen one that big. We've had hardly any games over 50 this year, or at least projected, because the under was hitting at just an alarming rate. It's Freaking great. Come on. Nope, that's not what I want. Where am I? Great listing. I know, folks. Look at me. Vegas tools. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, 54.5 points. It's fucking unreal. I mean, who's the pass catcher that comes out? Do we see Kincaid actually get something out of this game? Do we see Amari Cooper with a little bit of sustainability, or is it just Khalil Shakir? Because Khalil Shakir, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, 5 for 8, 106 yards and a touchdown. Freaking dope. But it's only the second game this year that he's going over 100 yards. It was 106 and 107. So he's not really the big volume swing that you're going to get each week. But what's happening? Albert's in the house. How we doing? It's just me. I know. Up to no good. Nobody will watch it. Keep an eye on me, but it's okay. We're here to answer some questions for a little bit longer. Talking some waiver wire. Talking some Bills-Lions, because just points and points galore is what we're looking at here for this team. JMO, are you guys gonna? Can you believe in JMO this week? I'm trying to figure out like where I have him pinned as far as like wide receiver 3-esque. Obviously, there's an uptick each and every time he goes down on the field. He could blow it up, but like Jordan Addison's been hot. Like you have to play Jordan Addison over Jameson Williams, right? So you're playing him there. Adam Thielen's kind of right in that same breath, I feel like. Marvin Harrison, Darnell Mooney, DeAndre Hopkins. We just got so many of these guys right there in the mix. And because wide receiver scoring has been so, I don't want to say historic, might be a little dramatic. We kind of try and play this game in like 3, 5, 8-year intervals, but it's been drastically lower than we've seen over the last half decade. So at that point, are you trying to squeeze in more running backs into your roster? Like, would you in a single flex league, are you looking to have 3 running backs versus 2 in majority of your starts just because of that floor that they're giving you? Each and every week, I feel like we're not seeing near as many disappointments when it comes to the running back position. We've got Mags coming in here. What's happening? What's up? Talking a little waiver wire matchups coming into this week, sweating out some of the playoffs because we got some decisions to make. And I'm a little nervous. I feel like I made decent amount of my playoffs. I didn't get a single bye. So 20 leagues. I think it was like 13 of my 20. I made it to the playoffs and not a single freaking bye week. Tons of third place finishes. But that doesn't do you crap. So, yeah, I'm going to be out there sweating it with y'all this week. Week 15, hoping we get it hit out of the park. Because I'm trying to look at some of these running backs. Like, we're looking as we get into, like, running back 3s here. You see, like, Sincere McCormick. We're seeing, DeAndre Swift, Tyrone Tracy, Braylon Allen. You've got Jalen Warren. Javonte Williams, even. Like, are we playing these guys? Where do we find these wide receivers? Sammy, will you post your rankings on the website? Yeah, like I said, I'm in there. It's too much Brian on the website is where you'll find me. But like I said, I'll get mine and I'll get a link to mine posted up there, and then I usually update throughout the week. So I get them updated again Wednesday, Thursday, and then Saturday. Just kind of trying to keep up with the news. So I got you covered. Extended mags. I made playoffs 8 and 6. Did you make the playoffs as an 8 and 6 team, or you made it in 8 leagues and you missed it in 6 leagues? Because 8 and 6, I feel like that was a lot of my records going into the playoffs, like an 8 and 6, a 7 and 7, maybe some 9 and 5s, but it was squeaking in there for a lot of it as an 8 and 6. I gotcha. Didn't know if you were one of those, the real degenerates when you got over a dozen leagues. Rocking his 14 would be absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, 8 and 6, you squeaked it in there. That's awesome. Imagine you'd be playing this week then. So who you sweating? You got any wide receivers you're worried about? Anybody you not quite sure who to put in? Because, hey, right there with you. Like I said, so if Bucky Irving plays, he's got the back spasms that he's dealing with. Like, where at that point does Rachaad White fall in that realm of, like, flexible players? You're playing Rachaad White with Bucky, in the roster over, like, a Jameson Williams. Dude, you're, like, the 4th person to ask this today. It's I kind of almost feel like y'all are trolling me at this point. It's kind of funny. Look, the analysis. Well, I mean, what we were kind of breaking it down to is it feels like Purdy's the safer floor play, and then Herbert's the big ceiling play. I love Herbert's matchup against Tampa Bay secondary, but we kind of talked about like secondary's getting better. Secondary's getting a little better. They just took over the division. We've seen 4 straight losses to the Falcons. So now the Bucs are in position. They need to hold on. And the Chargers aren't winning their division. So they need to hold on to a wild card spot, which they should be able to do, but that's with a bounce back win this week. So I think I think they're both in an interesting situation. And I mean, the Niners aren't completely knocked out, but they got the Thursday night game against the Rams. Needless to say, I've got them 4 spots apart. I've got Purdy in the top 12. I've got Justin Herbert as a top 12 play this week. So Purdy's just a little bit above it, but oh man. I guess the hard part is I'd like Herbert a lot more if we knew Ladd was going to play. If we had Ladd out there, I'd be all over it because then we'd have him, QJ to catch the 50% of the balls, and also Disley, the tight end. He's banged up as well. So it's just the lack of targets. And you don't have J.K. Dobbins. I say that as Purdy has lost CMC and Brandon Ayuk and virtually Deebo Samuel. But Juwan Jennings, he has just such a connection with Juwan Jennings. So I guess if we don't have any positive news about Ladd, maybe you put in Purdy, put him as the start just as that safer play. That way you don't have to worry about Herbert and whatever kind of shenanigans he runs into. Also, yeah, the rushing upside with Purdy. It's going to be a divisional game. That should be a good one. Thank goodness we're getting some good Thursday night games lately. This one should be quite the matchup with those NFC West teams. Seattle's trying to run away with the division. Who does Seattle play again this week? They play Green Bay. They play Green Bay, and Green Bay needs to pull off a win after that Detroit loss. So if they can win over Seattle and the Rams win this week, they come in tied with Seattle, and the shambles begin to come out. Arizona also plays New England, so they should be able to grab a win. Could have a 3-way tie as far as the pure win-loss record. Fucking crazy stuff, man. Trying to look here who else I have as far as like quarterback rankings. We've got Goff right in that mix. Bo Nix, we talked about a little bit ago. Purdy and Herbert all in that mix. Kyler's just outside of it for me. We got extended mags coming back in. My RBs are good. I had Monty and Kyron as starting. Might have Walker 3 as a flex though. Hey, that Monty Kyron, that's a 1-2 punch. That's a hell of a 1-2 punch. Freaking Monty's schedule rest of season is so damn juicy. Even with, I mean, he's been doing fine with Gibbs. And then you've got Kyron just running the table there with the Rams. Dude, I hope Walker comes back for you. Selfishly, I don't, because I've got Charbonnet everywhere in my best ball. Like, I've just got way too much of it in my best ball. So, yeah, for selfish reasons, I hope it's Charb. But, yeah, Walker, dude's a stud when he's out there and healthy. You having to pivot? You going after any of these running backs tonight? I'm sitting here trying to decipher which ones I really want to go for. Patrick Taylor, I just cannot get behind. It's probably stupid. It's Niners running backs. They just work, right? I don't see it being him, though. Just the way it is, I feel it's going to be like a fool's gold type of grab. Oh, my gosh. Kyle Pitts. Somebody's asking about that. I can't do it. Alexander Madison is somebody I guess we can look at too. Abdul's a little banged up. Sincere McCormick is there, but if Alexander Madison comes back, really, really nervous about what that backfield looks like between the two of them. Tank Bigsby, dude, I've been off of the Jags running backs for quite some time here, but if you're really in a pickle, I can see that situation. But I guess that's what I was talking about earlier with like, who the fuck do we start? I just don't know if that's the direction I really want to go as far as a pivot play, Yeah, just looking here, Tank Bigsby, I've got it running back 34 on the week. I've got him behind like Jalen Warren, Gus Edwards. Would you rather play Gus Edwards or Tank Bigsby? Talk about an ugly freaking shot. Oh, yeah, here we go. Mags is helping us out. Let's go wide receivers. I have Lamb, Hopkins, QJ, Keenan. Oh, whoo. All right. So we might need a little Band-Aid, a little glue here to put this team together. because it falls apart pretty quick for you, man. Olave, I feel you on that one. I've ended up dropping him in a couple leagues. Just I couldn't even fit him on my IR spot. It was so bad. Keon Coleman, I really hope he comes back because the Bills are in a good position, especially this week. What are we talking about? 54.5 point over under? Give me that for Keon Coleman. Give me that explosive week because damn it, we know my best ball is hurting on that too. Lamb's looks like he's healthy enough. Absolutely roasted him this past week, so that was good. Hopkins, he feels like a very wide receiver 3 for me. Like he's not consistent enough for me to look at as a wide receiver 2. You get a little boom, a little bust here and there, but it's just not there. QJ is the same situation. I think QJ actually gets more volume than Hopkins, but it's just dude can't catch worth shit. And then Noah Brown. Wild situation with Austin Eckler. Looks like he won't be coming back. I mean, he's on IR, so it doesn't look like we'll have him back for the playoffs. It does open up our opportunity for Noah Brown, but is Noah Brown the second option or is he the third? I think Ertz might be the second option behind Terry McLaurin. Noah Brown had some stretch run. I don't know if it was quite in the playoffs for us last year, but looked pretty damn good. So, hey, man, I'd check that waiver wire, see what else is out there, because you might need a couple more starts filling pieces just for these last few games, especially if you don't have a bye this week. But yeah, those running backs, you're definitely gonna ride those through the playoffs. Freaking dope. Other games, yeah, double Monday night. Raiders, Falcons, and the Bears, Vikings. Funny enough, Kirk and his old team, they're both playing that night. 8 o'clock and 8:30 kickoff. I'll actually be in California for that game. Weird as hell. 5 and 5:30 kickoff. I don't know if I can wrap my head around for that. I'm an East Coast fella, so this West Coast time is gonna fuck with me. What other good games do we have? I mean, they're not terrible. We got a bunch of 45s in here. The Chiefs and the Browns are 45 point. Colts Broncos are 44. Bucks Chargers 45. Packers Seahawks 46. So we've got some decent weeks ahead of us. Some good games. Little betting there for some of us if you're in the right state or have the right apps. Yeah. Anytime touchdowns. Any gut feelings there for some fantasy falls there. Maybe some overs we want to crush. I'll be diving more into those tonight and tomorrow morning to make sure we catch those right as those pop out. So you want to tail some bets with me, follow me as well. All that fun stuff happening over there on the Fantasy Football Advice Network. Of course, oh shit, the logo's blocking it. You can't see it. Way to go, Brian. Look what you did there. Folks, this is why you don't give your producer the day off. I know. Bam, there we go. You can see my fun stuff up top. No one even going to tell me. Brian, you're doing it wrong. Yep, at @too_much_Brian if you're looking for me on Twitch or Twitter. @too_much_Brian everywhere else. I know. Can I get consistent? No, absolutely not, because Elon won't give me too much Brian on Twitter. It's just locked up. Nobody's even using it. And that's my rant. Done ranting about Twitter handles. Got about 12 minutes for him checking out of here. Cut me off about 4:30, so anything else y'all want to talk about, throw it in there. If not, it's just going to be whatever the hell pops into my head these last little bit. Jags and Jets, I don't know how much excitement is going to be there. Obviously, Brian Thomas Jr. seems to be quarterback proof. I mean, probably one of the most exciting rookie wide receivers we had this year as far as consistency. We had a point in time there in the middle of the weeks. What was it, week 8 through 10? That weren't pretty, but the guys had 4 top 13 finishes, and then 4 finishes inside the top 27. So not too shabby for a rookie wide receiver, especially one dealing with it's just a horrific team. This is a 3-win team. They're so bad. His quarterback's been knocked out for a third of the season. Hasn't been great for him. So I just think the obstacles he's come over, he's proven that he's not just the touchdown or bust guy that he kind of was talked about coming out of LSU. Neighbors got all the hype, but Brian Thomas just had the touchdowns. Hey, touchdowns followed, and I'm not bitching. We love touchdowns in fantasy football. Why do you think we're running high on Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry? Because we like touchdowns. They're pretty dope. Some dope stuff. All right, what else do we have here? You want to talk movies? Want to talk movies? Yeah? No? As I said, I'm looking for some more football here for us. We can go back to the Herbert and Purdy discussion. It seems like that's just been all day. It's on everybody's mind. Who the hell do you start? Oh snap! Panthers line has moved. Started at -1, now it's at -2.5. Look at the Panthers leading in a game or on the spreads. Go Panthers! You know, Carolina's had it rough for some time. Don't necessarily want to see Tepper succeed with his team, but you got to feel for that team. That Super Bowl, they got their freaking asses wiped. It was so bad. Cam Newton just on the big stage just didn't have it, didn't make it happen. That's okay. It's okay. Panthers are coming back. Division's a hot mess. Anybody could have it. The Bucs have coming off a Super Bowl, getting rid of their 40-plus-year-old quarterback, picked up Baker, and are making some magic happen. So maybe they'll hold on to it for a little bit longer. All right. What else are we looking at here? Well, folks, is he a Bandicanda? We want to talk about him? Because I do. That's all I want to talk about until he's, the best back out there right now. Oh, Sammy found me on Twitter. What's happening, man? There he is. Nope. All right. We're going to wrap it up. It's playoffs. Like I said, we got a tight end article I got to get published for you. We got to get waiver wire ads put in there, and it seems like everybody's ready. They're loading up. So for me and everybody here on Too Much Fantasy Football, because it wasn't anybody else, just me. No Brennan today. We will be back tomorrow and Thursday. Brennan and I doing our start-sit show. We'll do the first 8 games for you tomorrow and drop the second 8 on you Thursday. Oh, Mag's coming in, catching me there. These are the waiver wires for wide receiver: Shepard, Dobbs, Douglas, McLeod. Whoo, buddy. Whoo. Okay, now I see why you're rocking what you're rocking. Shepard's a shot in the dark. Dobbs is Dobbs added to concussion protocol? As of yesterday, he wasn't. Wait, hold up. Oh, this is somebody different popping in. Oh, shit. All right. We'll check that out here in just a second. Give me a second there, Mags. Because I do think Dobbs is the only one I'm really interested in. That's there, but... All right, as of today, we got ruled out for Week 14, so no update on Romeo Dobbs as far as the concussion. He's missed 2 games. Like, that's a lot. He should be back this week. So if he's back in, I don't mind him as a good play. They've got a decent matchup against the Seahawks. So I think Dobbs would be the only thing you're looking at. Now, what is this? Marquee. All right. Are you telling me BTJ, Jordan Addison, Tyrone Tracy? Do I pick up? Are you telling me all of these guys are on the waiver wire? I guess that's what I'm trying to do. I pick up BTJ, Addison, Tyrone Tracy, Rashawn White, Jalen Warren, or Adam Thielen, Zach Charbonnet over Pittman or Downs? If so, pick 2. Are you telling me pick these 2 guys off the waiver wire? Because, yeah, I take all those players over Pittman and Downs. Extended mags. If I get Dobbs, who should I replace? Let me pull up who you had. Oh, man. Probably, okay, if Olave's on your actual bench, it would probably be Olave. If Olave's on my IR and he's not cutting into your rosters, it would be between Keon Coleman and Noah Brown. I think I like Keon Coleman has a higher ceiling for me, but that injury and what he's been dealing with, I might be keeping Noah Brown. But yeah, if you can ditch Olave, I think I would. With Carr possibly being out for the season, even if Olave comes back, I don't know if I want to go that direction. But yeah, it would probably be between Noah Brown and Keon Coleman. I really don't think that there's a loss in either one of those because Dobbs would be coming in as a good floor play for you. So, yeah, I guess Noah Brown then. Keep Keon Coleman. He has, I think, the higher ceiling than Noah Brown does and a higher chance of you feeling comfortable playing him. But Dobbs might give you that. They've got a really good rest of season schedule for wide receivers. Tyler popping in. Get back to work, Tyler. What are you doing? Come on, man. Tyler's over there crushing it, making that platform over there pretty damn awesome. The Fantasy Football Advice Network. All right, so Marky, let's get back to this. Let's dig in here a little bit. So if I'm understanding this correctly, we're picking up any of these guys over Pittman or Downs, or just playing them. Either way, yes, I'd play all of them over Pittman and Downs. Oh God, this is tough, man. Tyrone Tracy is seeing just, he's a rookie, but career highs in all of his touches. So I really like that. But I think Rachaad White would be the number one running back out of these, just with that pending injury to Bucky Irving. And then Jaylen Warren, and then Tyrone Tracy. I like Tracy more than Jaylen Warren, but I just think the game script, the team, all that situation, it might be Warren. As far as the wide receiver, Zach Charbonnet. Shoot. Let's check out Ken Walker news. I don't think we're going to have anything here on Tuesday, but getting tests on calf injury. Ooh, calf injury. Give me Charbonnet. So let's go Charbonnet, White, Tracy, Warren. As far as running backs go, wide receiver. God, I mean, it would have to be Addison, BTJ, and then Adam Thielen, but I like all three of those wide receivers like leaps and bounds over Pittman and Downs rest of the season. Downs is probably up there as far as talent goes with BTJ and Jordan Addison, but just the team, the situation, all that wild stuff. Adam Thielen rest of the season looks good. Dude, yeah, all those players are on the waiver wire, but what two do I pick over Pittman and Downs in a PPR? Oh my goodness! That's gold. That's gold right there. All right. I'm like almost sweating. I'm so nervous trying to like figure out which ones you do, because I feel like there's definitely there's not a wrong answer. All these players are good. So yeah, we're dropping Pittman and Downs. Let's go. I think pure upside. Give me Jordan Addison and Adam Thielen. But that's only because we have asterisks on Charbonnet and Rachaad White, not knowing their health. I think without knowing their health, then, oh man. Rachaad White's still going to get work even if Bucky Irving's in. Zach Charbonnet doesn't necessarily get work when Ken Walker's in. So maybe you want to prioritize White over White, Charbonnet, Tracy as far as running backs go. And then for wide receivers, give me Addison, Thielen, BTJ. And then decide between those depending on what your roster construction works like. If you've got 3 stud running backs and your wide receivers are weaker, then grab the 2 wide receivers. If you've just got 2 really good running backs and like a couple like iffy guys, then you'll probably want to make sure you grab at least 1, if not 2 of the running backs. But yeah, without knowing like really deep what your team looks like, it's hard to say. But yeah, White, Charbonnet, Tracy, running backs. BTJ, Addison. Addison, Thielen, BTJ. It's so rough. Brian Thomas Jr., man, so talented. I was just gushing over the guy just 5-10 minutes ago. Yeah, Addison, Thielen, BTJ. And then, depending on what your needs are, break it out from there. Extended mags. Oh, look at that. Sorry. Just seeing this now, but yeah, might get rid of Noah Brown for Dobbs. I'm right there with you. I think Dobbs has a higher floor as far as those plays, and when it comes down to it, I'd feel so much more comfortable playing Dobbs than I would Noah Brown. Quarterback, Jordan Love just throws it so freaking much, and we know how many rushing touchdowns come in through Washington. Whew. Marky, hey, you gonna come back next week, man. Let me know how it goes. Hope you get those players. Hope you just go in there and wreck shop. If you have that many players on the waiver wire, I would love to know what these other teams look like and how they pan out. So damn interesting. But folks, I got to get out of here. That's my hour. They're dinging the bell. We got to get the next show in here. For me and everybody here for Too Much Fantasy Football, come check us out. We got another show coming for you the next couple of days. Start sit. The first 8 games tomorrow. The following 8 games the next day on Thursday. We come at you every Tuesday for the live stream on 3:30 Eastern time. Me and Brennan typically. Just me today. Those are the fun shows, though. That's what we really love when it's just me. But if you're looking for more information, it's at @toomuch_Brian on Twitter, at @toomuchBrian everywhere else. And if you're really looking for some good time, head on over to the Advice Network, where, I mean, it's all football all the time, folks. So until next time, thanks for listening. I appreciate you being here. Later!
We are here. We are here. FantasySportsAdvice.com, offering the best fantasy sports social media platform. Why join endless Discord communities or the trolls of Reddit? Fantasy Sports Advice is a community designed to help you win with 24/7 support. Go to FantasySportsAdvice.com and become a pro member for unlimited access. Again, go to FantasySportsAdvice.com today.